Baseball in the Boroughs, presented by Verizon.
A tough night for Gerrit Cole. What were you seeing from your vantage point?
Yeah, I thought he came out hot in the first inning. Velo was there. Taxed him, obviously. A lot of close pitches where he was kind of working to the edges and maybe just off. And I think in a lot of ways that executing pretty well, and he was dialed up. He was cutting it loose a little bit and then dialed it back a little bit there in the second and didn't get the ball to location. And it's a team that's been swinging the bats well, and they, made him pay for two there in that second. It
seemed like his fastball velocity was down a little bit. Are you alarmed by that?
Well, I think it was everywhere. I think it was up. I think it was up 97, 98 at times. I even saw a 99 up there. So I think, it's kind of finding that happy medium. He does that usually always, in years past we see him in that 94, 95, 96 really control that. He reaches for it sometimes when he really needs it. Today it fluctuated a little bit where I think he's kind of finding his gauge out there, and in that first inning kind of coming out hot and then making him really work, just missing with some pitches. It taxed him a little, and I think probably dialed back a little bit there in the second.
It seemed like later in the game he was almost like looking at his hand a little bit. Was there a blister or anything, or he's
no,
okay? Physically, he's okay?
Yeah, physically he's fine.
When you activate a guy like Gerrit Cole off the injured list, do you expect him to be – does that mean you expect him to be the Gerrit Cole going forward? Or are nights like this sort of inevitable or part of the process of building back?
Well, not necessarily. No, I don't think they're inevitable. No, he's Gerrit Cole. He's, capable and has been in a pretty good spot here the last month or so as he's built up. So, no, I don't think this is inevitable. But, he's not all the way built up out of spring, and, he is coming back from an injury and being down. So, the build-up matters.
Was Glaber just moving too fast there on that error, kind of getting ahead of
just a play we got to make, balls hit sharply, and just, didn't make the play.
He struck out there in a big moment in the first inning and had another tough at-bat in the third, and then that final at-bat there in the eighth inning, it didn't look like he really ran out of the box. Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, well, he and I have talked about that, and he has been dealing with a little bit of that quad groin that he came out for last week. So there's certain spots where he's, being a little bit careful with it. But, he's obviously really important to what we're doing, and especially right now, needing some meat in the middle of that lineup, we got to get him going.
Do you feel like some of the offensive struggles, he's at all taken that into the field, or you think that's totally unrelated, just a bad play he needs to make?
Yeah. I hope not. I mean, that's a play he should make tonight. In and around the last 2 weeks after the pop-up, that's been a lot of really good defense that no one ever asks about. But it's a play he's got to make. I mean, simple as that. And he didn't make it tonight. It happens, but we got to get him going.
Are you considering or are you planning to put Glaber on the bench at all for performance or hustle, or because you think he needs a mental break? And if it's for any of those, which ones?
We need him to go. We need him to get going, especially through this stretch. One of his calling cards throughout his career has been how well he handles left-handed pitching. And as we go through this stretch where we're facing a lot of lefties, we got a couple guys down. G just goes down. Like we need him to be a presence in the middle of our lineup, and we got to get that out of him.
So he's going to be in your lineup tomorrow?
Yeah, he and I will talk, but yeah, I mean, we'll see.